Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel QA Tech. If you haven't subscribed our channel, please do subscribe to get a notification whenever there is a new session uploaded. So QA Tech is back with the first session of software testing. Let me ask a simple question. Who can perform testing? To answer this question, any graduate who has creativity can perform manual testing without any prior knowledge on coding. So without no delay, let's move into the topics going to be covered in this session. Today's agenda is project and product, classical versus latest definition of quality, defect, bidding the project, PIN, that is project initiation note, and finally SDLC, which stands for software development life cycle. Let's start with the project and product. A project is something that is developed based on the customer's requirements and for his usage only. For example, as I have started a QTech channel and I require a website named www.seominds.com for my channel, then I will approach a software company to develop a website explaining my requirements to be included in the website. As the website is developed based on my requirements and this is used only by me, this is called as a project. Product. A product is something that is developed on the company's specifications and can be used by multiple customers. Example, Infosys has prepared a Finacle, which is a core banking application, and that particular application is used by many banks. Let's move on to the definition of quality. The first one is classical definition of the quality. In olden days, quality is defined as the justification of all the requirements of a customer in a product or project. Coming to the latest definition of the quality, currently quality is defined as not only the justification of the requirements but also the presence of user friendliness. Therefore, the user friendliness of the app is also the responsibility of the tester. Let's move on to the defect. Defect is defined as deviation from the requirements. Suppose, for example, consider a login page which has username, password, and login button. And the scenario I want to use is enter a username, enter a password, click on login button. Then a home page should be displayed. That is a requirement. And while testing, suppose I have entered the username and I have entered the password and clicked on the login button and I got an error. Then I can say this is the defect because it is not as defined in the requirements. This is called a defect. I will explain defect life cycle in the upcoming sessions. Now let's know the process, how a project is onboarded. So to get a project, the software company bids for the project. So bidding the project is defined in three steps. That is request for proposal, estimation, and signing off. First of all, the CEO of the company prepares the request for proposal, which contains the bidding amount or the estimation of the project. So once the project is selected, the company gets the project. The next phase is official agreement between the two parties. That is, agreement is signed off between the software company and the customer. Customer is nothing but who gives the project. So once the agreement is signed off, it continues with the SDLC process. As I have already told, SDLC stands for Software Development Life Cycle. So from here onwards, whenever there is software development life cycle, I will be spelling it as SDLC. Let's go through each stage and understand them in detail. So the various stages in SDLC are project kickoff or initiation phase, requirements gathering phase, analysis phase, design phase, development phase, testing phase, deployment phase, and operation and maintenance phase. Let's go through each phase. The first phase is initial meeting or a kickoff meeting. It is an initial meeting conducted in the software company soon after the project is signed off in order to discuss the overview of the project and also to select a project manager to that project. Usually, people involved in this is high level management, project managers, technical managers, quality or test managers, development leads, and test leads. Among various project managers, one of the project manager is selected in this particular meeting. So once the project manager is selected and the project manager prepares the email called PIN. PIN stands for Project Initiation Notes. And project manager send the PIN to the CEO of the software company in order to get the permission to start the project development. Once the permission is given, he will prepare another email and will send it to all the concerned team members in order to intimate them that they are about to start the project. Even this email is also called as a PIN. The second phase in SDLC is requirements gathering. So the task in requirements gathering is interacting with the customers and gathering the requirements. And the people involved in this phase are business analyst named as BA and engagement manager termed as EA. So the process in this phase is, first of all, the BA will take an appointment from the customer, collects the template from the company, meets the customer on the appointment date, and gather the requirements with the help of the template. Finally, business analyst comes back to the company with the requirements document. Now, the engagement manager will go through the requirements document prepared by business analyst, and if at all he finds any extra requirements, then he deals with the excess cost of the project. If at all, if he finds any confused requirements, then he will ask the concerned team members to develop a prototype, go to the customer with that prototype, demonstrate the prototype, gathers the clear requirements, and will finally hand over the requirement documents to the business analyst. The output of requirements gathering phase is requirements document, or we can call it as SRS. This document will be called with following names by different companies. So these are the different terminologies used by various companies. The first one is FRS, stands for Functional Requirement Specification. Second one is BRS, stands for Business Requirement Specification. The next one is CRS, stands for Customer Requirement Specifications. The next one is URS, stands for User Requirement Specification. And the next one is BDD, stands for Business Design Document. BD stands for Business Document. All these documents is one and same, but called with different names in different companies. The third phase in SDLC is analysis. So the task involved in analysis phase is feasible study of the requirements, tentative plan of the project, technology plan like which technology to use, and the environment confirmation. And the last one is requirement analysis. Generally, the roles involved in this phase are system analyst, termed as SA. And to support system analyst, we have project manager and technical team manager. And the process involved this is first one is feasibility study. Feasibility study is a detailed study of the requirements in order to check whether the requirements are possible within the available time, budget, and requirements. And the next phase is tentative planning. The resources and time will be temporarily planned here in this section. Technology selection and environment confirmation. The list of all the technologies that are required to accomplish this project successfully and the details of the environment which will be suitable for this application development will be selected and maintained in this phase. The next one is requirement analysis. The list of all the requirements like human resources, softwares, hardwares required to accomplish the project successfully will be clearly analyzed and listed out clearly in this section. The output of analysis phase is SRS. As I already explained, SRS stands for Software Requirement Specification. And the fourth phase is design phase. Now we have all the requirements ready and plan is prepared. The task involved in this phase is high level designing and low level designing. And the roles involved are chief architect, technical lead. The chief architect will divide the whole project into modules by drawing high level diagrams using UML. TL will divide the modules into submodules by drawing some diagrams using same as UML. The TL and his team members with the help of CA will design the GUI part of the app. So the output of this particular phase is TDD, that is technical design document. Now we have all the requirements ready and plan is ready. Therefore, the next phase is coding phase where developers comes into picture. So the task in this phase is programming or coding and the roles are programmers or developers. And the process followed in this phase is the developers will develop the actual source code by following the coding standards and with the support of TDD. And the output of this particular phase is source code document, which is SCD. Now the source code is ready and the testers start testing the app in this phase, that is testing phase. The task in this phase is testing and the roles involved are test engineers. The process in this phase is as follows. First of all, test engineers will receive SRS and start understanding the SRS. While understanding the requirements, if at all there are any doubts, they will list out all the doubts in the requirements clarification note, that is RCN. RCN is sent to the author of the requirement document for clarifications. Once the clarifications are given and understood the requirements completely, then they will take the test case template and start writing the test cases. Once the first build is released, they will execute the test cases. If at all any defects are found, they will list out in the defect profile. The defect profile is sent to the development department and they will wait for the next build. Once the next build is released, they will execute the test cases again. If at all any defects are found, they will list out the defects in defect profile and once again send to the development team and wait for the next release. Once the next build is released, the same process is repeated again and again until the product is defect free. And the output of this particular phase is quality product. The next phase in SDLC is deployment phase. The tasks in this phase is delivering the software. And the roles involved in this particular phase are deployment engineers or installation engineers. And the process is deployment engineers will go to the client's place and install the app in the customer's environment. The output of this particular phase is after delivering the application, the official agreement will be signed off by the customer. This document is the output of the delivery phase. The last phase in SDLC is maintenance phase. Once the application is delivered, the customer will start using the application. While using it, if at all they face any problems, then the problems will become the task. Based on that task, corresponding roles will be appointed. They will solve the problem by defining the process. This type of maintenance is known as normal maintenance. But some clients may be requesting for continuous maintenance. In that case, a team of members from our company will be working in that client's place regularly in order to take care of the software. This type of maintenance is called as continuous maintenance. Therefore, this is the end of the SDLC. So the agenda for next session is I'll be covering up the testing techniques, levels of testing, environments and its types, software process development model. So these are the topics I'm going to cover in the session 2. Thank you guys. To become a professional in software testing, please do subscribe to our channel QA Tech and post your questions in the comment box. Once again, thank you. Happy testing. Stay tuned to QA channel. Let's meet in the next session. Have a nice day.